Hey guys, we're back at it once more. What do I got for you today? Well, it's been a while since we've done a product review. I think the last clothing product review we did was the Hawks Boot Barn brand, or maybe it was one of the watches I own. However, we are doing something different. Big fan of Ariat products. Big fan of Western wear in general. That's usually my motif. You guys have seen the Western wear, so you know what I'm talking about. However, I don't own a ton of cowboy hats, Western hats, I should use that term. I own a straw hat and, like the Bangalore straw hats, And I own one Stetson, and it's one of their cheaper crushable models. Very nice hat, but it isn't one of their nice, formed fur felt hats. It is a felt hat, but it isn't like a high-end one. Those are kind of expensive. However, I've been watching Landman again. Just finished season 2. Can't wait for season 3. I'll have to do a full video and talking about that, but we'll save that for another video. And I've kind of got back into the Western wear stuff once again, because I took a little break for a while there. However, I never really owned any actual fur felt, nice wool hats, formed brims, that sort of thing. And I got that urge yesterday. Now, the closest Western wear places to me that are dedicated Western wear are about 45 to 50 minutes away. And then 45 to 50 minutes back. So, 2-hour drives are not really my thing, if I can avoid them. So I went over to D&B Supply. They have some Western wear. It's not as extensive as other places, but good enough for me, man. So I happened upon a Ariat hat. I actually wear Ariat boots. You can't see them. I would pull my leg up, but I don't think I can stretch that well. Anyway, with that being said, I looked at the hat and I was like, oh, that's pretty nice. Normally these hats are like $120, $130. It was on sale for $88, and I was like, that's a good price. I probably should consider that. So here is, I'm gonna drop it. Here is the hat. Kind of a, cattleman's hat. It's even got a nice hat band with a buckle and everything. Real nice. Good quality material. This is a 3X. It's not like a 10X or anything. And that refers to the quality of the felt. You have a nice leather band and everything. It's not a bad hat for the money, in all honesty. You got this silk lining, which is very nice. In all honesty, it's not bad for the money. In all honesty, I think it looks pretty good as far as hats go. And it's very comfortable. It's a tiny bit tight, but like anything, it needs time to form on your head and conform to your head. Hence the red mark on my forehead. But I definitely know it's not going to blow off my head, which is a plus. And of course you have that crimp top, that classic silhouette of a cowboy hat. Large brim. Some guys really like tucked in brims and that sort of thing. The whole purpose of what these hats were meant to do is keep the sun off your head and your face and your neck. Kind of defeats the purpose if you get one with a tiny little brim or something like that. Now, doesn't it? But yeah, the material is very nice quality. Feels very soft to the touch. And I will tell, I'll even add in, D&B, the girl was nice enough. They have a steam machine there. She was able to get a little bit more crimp on these edges for me, which was really nice. That didn't cost anything, so that's definitely good customer service. I can't deny that. But it's a really nice little hat for the money, and it's solid, and it feels solid. It feels good. If you had to feed a horse out of this, you certainly could. Might not look so good on the inside anymore, but it'll certainly do the job. And, like I said, nice stitched construction. It doesn't feel cheap, but it doesn't feel uber expensive either, which is really nice in my opinion. You know, this is a hat that you could wear every day. You don't have to, you know, this is not a super dressy hat. Could you throw this with a suit? Sure. I would probably say a gray suit would look best with this because it's kind of a lighter brown. Throw that with some brown dress boots, and you'd probably look pretty good, if you ask me. But it's a really nice hat. And like I said, for the money, it feels really good, looks really nice, and definitely punches above, even at full price at $120, definitely punches above that $120 dollar price retail price tag. And for $88, I don't think you're going to get much better. And I mean, I can't complain. I like it. It's a nice hat. You know, as somebody who doesn't like spending a ton on Western wear, I'd say a majority of the Western wear I own, I bought on discount. Just because it is expensive. But you have to think, what is Western wear? It's natural fibers a lot of the time. It's real good quality leather. It's expensive materials that pretty much, for a lot of them, need to be done by hand. You can't machine things. I mean, basically every serious boot maker still makes stuff the old school way, by hand. Now, do they use machines? Yes. But these are actual craftsmen and women working the leather, sewing it, forming those boots, forming these hats. You know, it's not a machine type of deal. Like I said, they use machines, but it's people operating those machines. It's not an assembly line of robots. So, I mean, you can get really good quality stuff on discount, and there's no shame in that. But as for Ariat's hats, I mean, like I said, I really wanted to buy an actual formed Stetson, and it's hard. It's hard to say, yeah, I want to spend that kind of money. Because, I mean, even their straw hats, so your average, I'll run it through for the audience that may not be as familiar with this. The average straw hat price that I see for something like a Twister, which are really nice hats for the money, I think, is like $40. And I mean, it's not an expensive material. It's really not a super expensive material. So, like Stetson's cheaper straw offerings are like $150. That's their cheaper offerings. That's a lot of money if you ask me. Don't get me wrong, I'm sure it's a great hat, and I'm sure it's like, I probably will buy one day, but, you know, there's an old saying, a fool and his money are easily parted, or quickly parted, I should say. See, I can't even get the quote right. Maybe I am a fool. But the point being is, why would you spend $150 when you get one for $40 that's just as nice and will do the job just as well? To me, not a lot of reason not to. Now, some of their fur felt hats, I mean, Stetson makes a $10,000 hat. I think it's about 10, maybe it's 8, but anyway, it's multi-$1,000 hat with, it's just their normal 100X fur felt, which is really nice, and those hats themselves cost around $500. All that $10,000 hat has is a solid gold 24 karat buckle that's studded with, I want to say, I don't know how many carats of diamonds. Not a ton, but a fair amount. And I swear I looked at it before and I thought to myself, who's buying that? But, of course, my mom pointed it out to me. It's freaking obvious. Some rich oil exec is buying one of those. And hey, if I had oil exec money, you bet your ass I'd be buying one. I'd buy 10 of them. One for every, one for every day of the week plus 3 extra days. But with that being said, do I like Stetson stuff? Sure. It's really nice. Is it hard for me to even consider buying it? Yeah, kinda. It's a lot of money. But I will say, if you're ever in the market for a Stetson hat that's a little on the cheaper side usually, and not one of their straw offerings, I would say check out the Stetson Blackhawk. It's like a gambler style hat. It's actually very nice. I need to find where I left that thing. It's somewhere in my storage unit. I'll find it eventually. Actually really like that hat. Though it is, of course, a crushable hat, which is fine if you're traveling or whatever, but I will admit it doesn't look as nice as a formed felt hat, in my opinion, if you ask me. But if you need a hat that's actually going to be doing some work, it's probably the more sensible option. If it got knocked off, it's not going to damage it or anything like that. So, you know, that might, your mileage may vary with what you need a hat to do and what it should not do. So, me, I don't ride horses and I don't do too much in the terms of hard work that I'd also be wearing a cowboy hat during, apart from maybe, you know, a little bit of plinking, which, hey, I can wear that and plink all day. That's just fine. But yeah, guys, as for Ariat's nice little fur felt 3X hats, I gotta say, I'm thinking a solid 9.9 out of 10. I think the only thing I'd like is maybe the material to have a little bit more luster to it, but there's probably ways I can get that done without having to buy another hat. Anyways, guys, I appreciate you listening to me ramble about this. You ever notice that I ramble and tend to make longer videos on topics I enjoy talking about? Wonder what that's about. Anyways, guys, thank you so much for watching. Please go down in the comments, tell me what you think. Tell me your experiences with Ariat hats, Stetsons, whatever hats you like. We can talk Western wear. It's perfectly fine with me. Discuss with me, discuss amongst yourselves. I love reading your guys' comments on this kind of stuff, so please do that. Also, please like the video, subscribe, share it with your friends. Who knows, you know, we're trying to, you know, keep pumping up that subscriber count. You know, one day Riley's going to take over the world. But I can't do that without you guys. You guys got to help me with that. So, like I said, please share this with your friends. Share all the videos with your friends. Please. Do a guy a favor, huh? You know, I try my best. Anyways, guys, I'll let you get out of here. I'll get back to what I'm doing. I need to go make some breakfast. I haven't eaten yet today. Woke up about 3 and I couldn't fall back asleep, and I moped around in bed for about an hour or two and still didn't get any more sleep, so I think it's time to eat and make some coffee. I'm kind of tired, if I'm being honest with you. I fell asleep around 10:30 and waking up at 3 and there's not enough sleep. Not even close. Anyways, I'll see you guys in the very near future.